A morning ritual is not another chore to add to your to-do list. It is a sacred space, a personal ceremony where you reconnect with yourself, define your intentions, and build momentum to live each day in alignment with your values. When practiced with consistency, your morning becomes more than just a routine. It becomes the anchor of your strength, clarity, and peace. So do not let your mornings slip away unconsciously. Turn them into the foundation for a deeper, more meaningful life. You have likely heard the saying, "Win the morning, win the day." But what does that really mean? It means your morning sets the tone for everything that follows. It means your first moments hold the power to influence how you show up in the world. Take a moment now and reflect. When was the last time you truly sat down and looked back at your day? Not to criticize yourself or dwell on unfinished tasks, but to reflect with clarity, sincerity, and compassion toward yourself. That act of reflection is a sacred opportunity for growth. It is how we become better, not all at once, but little by little, each day. Modern life often feels like a giant hamster wheel that never stops spinning. We wake up, rush to get ready, dive into work, eat on the go, squeeze in time for friends or a quick workout, and collapse into bed only to do it all again the next day. But what if we could break that unconscious cycle? What if, each night, we took a moment to pause, to listen, and to understand ourselves more deeply? The Stoic philosophers, including Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, repeatedly emphasized the importance of daily self-reflection. For them, a life that is not examined is like a ship without a compass, drifting aimlessly in the open sea. Seneca famously said that a life without reflection is not worth living. That may sound intense, but it is a reminder that meaning is not found in motion alone. It is found in mindful observation. Lesson 2. How to reflect on your day in a practical and meaningful way. Here is a simple method you can start using right away. First, highlight the bright spots. Look back and recognize the good things that happened during your day. What made you smile today? Did you accomplish something important or reach a small goal? Is there anything you feel grateful for? Noticing these positive moments builds a mindset of optimism and deep gratitude. Second, examine your growth curve. Be honest with yourself about the challenges, struggles, or mistakes you encountered. The most important part is not how you stumbled, but what you learned from the experience. How can these lessons help you grow and improve moving forward? As Confucius once said, our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Third, adjust your direction. Based on your reflections, choose 1 or 2 small actions you can take right away to make your life a little better. Maybe it is a new goal, a small habit you want to build, or simply a deeper level of mindfulness in how you think and act. Remember, every great journey begins with a single, small step. Consistency over time brings about a transformation. You may be wondering how successful people actually apply this practice in real life. Many well-known CEOs have a daily journaling habit. For them, it is not just about writing. It is about tracking their progress, recording their thoughts and emotions, and using those insights to continue moving forward. The journal becomes both a mirror and a compass, a tool to stay grounded, self-aware, and aligned with their values and vision. Elite athletes often use visualization techniques and performance reviews after every training session or competition. They break down their strengths and weaknesses, identify areas for improvement, and mentally prepare themselves for the next challenge ahead. It is not just about physical training. It is about sharpening the mind, building resilience, and becoming more intentional with every move. Wise parents also practice this kind of daily reflection. Before bedtime, they sit with their children and review the day's events together. They talk about what went well, share gratitude for small blessings, and gently draw lessons from minor mistakes the family encountered. It becomes a moment of connection, growth, and emotional nurturing. The most important message I want you to take away today is this. Reflecting on your day is not about dwelling on the past or beating yourself up for what you did not finish. The true goal is to learn, to celebrate the small wins, and to move forward with a better version of yourself each day. Because over time, those small shifts compound into great transformations. The philosopher Heraclitus once said that the only constant in life is change. So why not embrace that change and make it your ally? When you reflect and learn from each passing day, you become stronger, more grounded and wiser in navigating the inevitable ups and downs of life. Lesson 3. The truth about money. It is not what you think, and it certainly does not buy happiness. Almost all of us have heard the common saying, money can buy everything. But is that really true? Can money truly bring lasting happiness? Or is it just a fleeting illusion? Today, let us take a deeper look at what money really means, and, more importantly, how to build a healthy relationship with it. We live in a society where money is often held up as the highest goal. Many people believe that having more money automatically means more happiness, more freedom, and more success. But the philosopher Epicurus reminds us that true wealth does not come from having more, but from needing less. Real contentment, then, comes not from accumulation, but from the ability to be satisfied with what you already have. Have you ever found yourself earning more money, but still feeling like it is never enough? This is what psychologists refer to as the hedonic treadmill. We quickly adapt to our new lifestyle upgrades, and the joy from a raise or a big bonus fades quickly. Before long, we are back to feeling the same as before, and chasing the next big thing. The blind pursuit of money becomes a trap. We trade away precious time, sacrifice our health, neglect our relationships, and sometimes even compromise our core values, all in the name of wealth. Seneca put it wisely when he said that the poor person is not the one who has little, but the one who is always craving more. The lesson here is not that money is evil. Money is a tool, and like any tool, its value depends on how we use it. When we stop letting money define our self-worth and start using it as a means to live meaningfully, it becomes a servant, not a master. Financial wisdom is not just about earning more. It is about knowing when enough is truly enough. So how can we build a healthier relationship with money? Below are several principles you can begin applying to your daily life. Simple yet powerful shifts that can redefine how you see wealth and happiness. First, redefine what it means to be wealthy. Wealth is not just about the number you see in your bank account. True wealth includes your health, the quality of your relationships, the fulfillment you find in your work, and living a life with clear purpose and meaning. It is about having what matters, not just what is expensive. Second, practice gratitude. Every day, take time to appreciate what you already have, instead of focusing on what you lack. Write down a few things you feel thankful for. This small habit fosters a positive mindset and nurtures contentment. Gratitude is not passive. It is a conscious act of choosing joy. Third, spend wisely. Use your money on experiences that enrich your life and align with your long-term values, rather than on fleeting material things. As the saying goes, spend on experiences, not possessions. A shared trip, a course that helps you grow, or time spent with loved ones often leaves a more lasting impression than the newest gadget. Fourth, give generously. Few things bring a deeper sense of fulfillment than helping others. Donate to charity, volunteer your time, or simply assist someone in need. The joy that comes from giving without expecting anything in return is priceless. It connects us to others, softens our hearts, and reminds us of our shared humanity. Let us take a moment to look at some real-life examples that bring these principles to life. Many minimalist millionaires have chosen to focus on simplicity, relationships, and meaningful experiences over material accumulation. In that simplicity, they find joy, clarity, and a deeper sense of purpose. Billionaires like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett have pledged to give away the majority of their wealth to charitable causes, recognizing that money is not an end in itself, but a tool for creating lasting, positive change in the world. And then there are people you may never hear about in the headlines, those who live modestly but radiate happiness. People who find deep joy in small moments, meaningful relationships, and inner growth. Their lives are proof that true happiness is not defined by a price tag. In closing, I want you to remember this. Money is a helpful tool, but it should never become the master of your life. By redefining wealth on your own terms, practicing gratitude, making wise spending choices, and giving from the heart, you will begin to experience a kind of happiness that money alone can never provide. Because real abundance is not about having everything. It is about appreciating everything you already have and using your resources to live a life that truly matters. Lesson 4. A deep desire to understand dive, deeper than a professional diver. Have you ever felt like you were only scratching the surface of knowledge? Like you were standing in the shallow end of a pool, safe and familiar, but never really exploring the magical depths beneath the surface? In an age where information rushes at us non-stop, it is easy to slip into a habit of skimming. Headlines, memes, short posts, they flash before our eyes, but rarely do we pause to truly understand what lies beneath. The philosopher Socrates once said something profound. I know that I know nothing. But he didn't stop there. He spent his entire life asking deep questions, challenging assumptions, and searching for the hidden truths beneath what seemed obvious. His approach was not unlike diving into the deep sea, venturing far beyond the waves to discover the mysteries hidden in the ocean's heart. True understanding is not just about gathering surface-level facts. It is about constantly asking why and how, not just what. It is about making connections, seeing how the pieces fit together, and building a broader, more layered perspective. This pursuit of deeper meaning transforms the way we engage with the world and with ourselves. So why should we make the effort to go deeper in our understanding? First, critical thinking. When you dive deep into knowledge, you stop being a passive recipient of information. You start analyzing, evaluating, and drawing your own conclusions. In a world flooded with misinformation and shallow narratives, this is a vital skill for making wise, informed decisions. It is the difference between being led and choosing your own path. Second, empathy and compassion. Deep understanding allows us to see the world through other people's eyes. We begin to grasp the reasons, struggles, and motivations behind their actions. This awareness becomes the foundation for building meaningful relationships and fostering a more compassionate, connected society. Third, creativity and innovation. Depth of understanding often leads to fresh insights and new ideas. When you truly understand a problem, you are more likely to find creative solutions that others may overlook. The famous physicist Richard Feynman once said, "The first principle is that you must not fool yourself, and you are the easiest person to fool." Deep thinking protects us from self-deception and unlocks doors to brilliance. Let's look at how this principle shows up in real life. Investigative journalists do not simply report what happened. They dig deep, uncover hidden truths, and bring corruption and injustice into the light. Their work has real impact, shaping public awareness, driving reform, and protecting democracy. It is their willingness to go beyond the surface that makes their voice powerful. Scientists consistently challenge existing theories by conducting rigorous experiments and collecting new data. Their deep understanding becomes the key that pushes the boundaries of human knowledge and leads to real-life innovations that improve the quality of life for everyone. Lifelong learners, too, embody this principle. They are always exploring, constantly seeking new knowledge through books, seminars, and diverse discussions. These individuals are open to expanding their horizons and continuously growing in thought and spirit. So how can you begin diving deeper in your own pursuit of understanding? First, ask questions. Never hesitate to raise even the simplest or most obvious question. Questions are not signs of ignorance, they are gateways to deeper understanding. Second, challenge assumptions. Not everything you hear or read is automatically true. Practice verifying information, comparing sources, and questioning what you are told. A healthy dose of skepticism can protect you from misinformation and mental shortcuts. Third, seek out different perspectives. Actively expose yourself to contrasting viewpoints. Engage in open, respectful dialogue. It broadens your mind and helps you recognize the limitations of your own biases. Fourth, connect the dots. Try to see the relationships between events and ideas. Don't just view isolated fragments of information. Look for patterns and principles that help you understand the larger picture. Finally, be patient. Developing deep understanding is a journey, not a destination. It requires time, effort, and persistence. It's not about memorizing facts. It's about cultivating insight. The most important message I want to leave you with today is this. Profound understanding is not reserved for scholars or intellectuals. It is accessible to anyone who is willing to try. It is one of the most powerful tools we have to navigate and grow in an ever-changing world. As Aristotle once said, the true value of life lies not in mere existence, but in our ability to reflect and think deeply. Lesson 5. The only reward. Forget the podium. Fall in love with the journey. Have you ever asked yourself what true victory really looks like? Not the kind where you stand on a podium holding a gold medal, though that image is certainly glorious. No, the kind of victory we are talking about runs much deeper. It is the quiet triumph of living a life filled with purpose, driven by passion, and shaped by meaningful personal growth. In today's society, it often feels like we are all caught in a collective obsession with winning. We compare ourselves endlessly with others, chase after external validation, and strive to meet the goals society lays out for us: career advancement, expensive possessions, perfect appearances. But do those external accomplishments really offer lasting happiness? Or are they more like a piece of candy sweet in the moment, but gone all too quickly? When we define our worth by the approval of others, the path can easily become one of stress, burnout, and emptiness. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus reminded us that true wealth does not lie in what we possess, but in our ability to limit our desires. In other words, authentic happiness comes from within, not from the world outside of us. So what is the path to lasting happiness and true fulfillment? The answer lies in discovering and nurturing the inner drive that already exists within you. Intrinsic motivation is the powerful energy that propels you to act, to learn, to grow, and to contribute. The renowned psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi once said that the most fulfilling moments in life come when we willingly challenge ourselves and push past our own limits. These moments are not forced, they are embraced, and in them we find deep satisfaction. But how can you shift your focus away from chasing external approval and instead fuel your life with intrinsic motivation? Start by identifying your core values. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me? What guiding principles shape who I am? What kind of impact do I want to leave on this world? Take time to reflect on these questions and write down your answers. Doing so will give you a sense of direction, like a compass for your life. When your actions align with your values, you experience clarity, fulfillment, and purpose. Next, set goals that hold real meaning for you. Not goals you think you should pursue, because society expects them, but ones that genuinely resonate with your soul. When your goals come from a place of authenticity, you will feel excited to work toward them. That excitement will become the fuel that keeps you moving, even when things get tough. Do not forget to enjoy each step of the journey. Avoid becoming so focused on the destination that you miss the beauty of the process. Every small success, every lesson learned from a mistake, these are milestones worth acknowledging and celebrating. Life is not a race to the finish line. It is a dance of growth, learning, and presence. Seek out the state of flow, a moment when you are so immersed in an activity that time seems to disappear. In this state, you are fully present, fully alive. What kinds of tasks or activities bring you into that flow? Explore them, nurture them, and return to them often. They are gateways to purpose-driven living. Let us look at some powerful examples that embody this principle There are artists who paint simply because they love to create. They are not concerned with fame or financial reward. What fuels them is the joy of exploring their imagination and stretching the boundaries of their creativity. Scientists, too, often dedicate their entire lives to pursuing knowledge, not because they seek recognition, but because they are genuinely passionate about discovering new truths. Their joy comes from the satisfaction of uncovering something valuable, something that contributes to our collective understanding of the world. And then there are volunteers, ordinary people with extraordinary hearts, who find happiness in serving others. They do not expect rewards or applause. What drives them is the inner desire to make a difference, to bring light into someone else's life, and to be part of something greater than themselves. The most important message I want to leave with you today is this. The real reward you should seek is not external recognition. It is the quiet, powerful sense of fulfillment that comes from living according to your values, pursuing your passion, and making a meaningful impact on the world around you. As Confucius once said, "The noble-minded understand what is right. The petty-minded only understand what is profitable." When you live from within, guided by purpose and integrity, you will find a form of happiness that no title, trophy, or paycheck could ever match. Lesson 6. The power of a personal mantra, a compact yet mighty inner weapon. Earlier, we explored the idea of embracing the journey rather than chasing after external validation. Now, let us dive into one of the simplest yet most powerful tools for inner strength, the power of a personal mantra. It is a compact mental instrument, but it holds the potential to become your secret weapon when facing challenges and striving toward your goals. So, what exactly is a mantra? You might have come across the concept in meditation or yoga sessions, where mantras are repeated softly in the background. But in reality, it is so much more than a soothing sound. A mantra can be a word, a phrase, or even a short sound that is repeated regularly to help you concentrate the mind. It is a powerful affirmation, a guiding principle, a personal reminder of the hidden strength that already lives within you. Think of your mantra as a personal coach that is always by your side, ready to cheer you on, restore your energy, and help you get back on track whenever you feel off balance. The use of mantras dates back thousands of years to ancient India. They were central to the spiritual practices of Hinduism and Buddhism, used to deepen spiritual growth and enlightenment. Over time, philosophers and spiritual leaders around the world have acknowledged the power of words to shape thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. The Buddha once said, "All that we are is the result of what we have thought. The mind is everything. What we think, we become." So how does a mantra actually work? First, a mantra helps you focus and recenter. Repeating a mantra is like pressing a mental reset button. It quiets the noise in your mind and brings you back to what truly matters. Whether you're overwhelmed or distracted, your mantra becomes a point of stillness, a return to clarity. Second, a mantra is a positive affirmation. Each time you repeat it, you're sending a message to your subconscious mind that this is the truth you choose to believe. Over time, it begins to rewire your perspective, shifting you from doubt to confidence, from fear to strength, from worry to peace. Third, a mantra helps regulate your emotions. In moments of stress, anxiety, or emotional turbulence, repeating a calming or empowering phrase can soothe your nervous system and bring you back to a place of inner peace. It's like carrying a small sanctuary with you wherever you go. Fourth, a mantra is a daily source of motivation and inspiration. It reconnects you to your purpose, your values, and your deepest potential. On days when you feel off course or discouraged, your mantra becomes a spark, a reminder of why you started and why you must keep going. Let us look at some real-life examples of how people use mantras. Many athletes use mantras to boost their confidence, stay mentally strong, and break through both physical and psychological barriers. Phrases like, "I am strong," "I can do this," or "I will overcome" echo in their minds before big moments. These are not just empty words. They are anchors of belief. Entrepreneurs also turn to mantras as a powerful tool for maintaining motivation and a positive mindset, especially when facing setbacks. Phrases like, "I am creating something meaningful," "I am making a difference," or "I am building my dream," remind them to keep going, even when the path is uncertain. These simple affirmations carry weight. They are not about hype, but about grounding themselves in purpose and perseverance. But you do not need to be an athlete or a business leader to benefit from a mantra. Anyone, yes, anyone can create a personal mantra that helps them navigate life's challenges. Think of affirmations like, "I am enough," "I am loved," or "I am grateful." These short, powerful statements may seem simple, but they carry immense strength. They become quiet companions during hard days and strong reminders during moments of doubt. Now, let us explore how to craft your own personal mantra, a phrase of power that can become a lifelong ally on your journey of personal growth and inner mastery. Step 1. Choose a phrase that resonates deeply with you. Your mantra should stir something inside. It should be more than words. It needs to be something that inspires you, motivates you, and connects with your core values. It might come from a philosopher you admire, a line from a song that moves you, or something entirely original that reflects your personal truth. The key is that it must feel authentic and meaningful to you. Step 2. Keep it short and simple. A powerful mantra does not need to be long. In fact, the shorter it is, the easier it is to remember and repeat. A few carefully chosen words can carry profound meaning. The simplicity allows the mantra to slip seamlessly into your daily routine and settle deeply into your subconscious. Step 3. Repeat it consistently and intentionally. The real magic of a mantra comes through repetition. Make it a habit to say your mantra out loud or silently to yourself each day, during your morning meditation, on a walk, while exercising, or even in moments of stress. The more you repeat it, the more it becomes embedded in your inner dialogue. Over time, it begins to shape your thoughts, regulate your emotions, and influence your behavior in empowering ways. It is important to remember that a mantra is more than just a sentence. It is a tool of empowerment. It is a key to unlocking your inner strength, your wisdom, and your resilience. When you create your own mantra and use it with intention, you begin to realize that you are not at the mercy of your thoughts, you are their guide. You are not ruled by emotions, you are the one who directs their flow. You are no longer a passive observer of your life. You become an active, mindful participant. As the ancient philosopher Lao Tzu wisely taught, watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. So let me ask you, are you ready to create your own personal mantra and begin changing your inner world, one thought at a time? Lesson 7. The 3 fields of training ancient philosophers believed were essential for a fulfilled and meaningful life now. Don't let the word training or the mention of ancient philosophy make this sound too academic or distant. Because, in truth, what we're about to explore is a powerful trio of life upgrades that can transform your everyday experience. The training of desire, the training of action, and the training of perception. Let's begin with the training of desire. This means learning how to manage what you truly want, understanding what matters most to you, and aligning those desires with your core values. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said that it is not events themselves that disturb us, but how we interpret them. In other words, our suffering doesn't stem from desire itself, but from our unhealthy attachment to it. When we chase desires without awareness, we often end up controlled by them. But when we train our desires, we gain freedom. Next comes the training of action. This is about living in alignment with your values, taking right action even when it is hard. Aristotle put it best. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not a single act, but a habit. Every action you take shapes your character, and your character ultimately determines your destiny. When your choices consistently reflect your deeper values, you become a person of integrity and resilience. Finally, we have the training of perception. This is about mastering your thoughts and beliefs. It is learning to focus on what is good, nurturing gratitude, and challenging the inner voice of fear and self-doubt. The Buddha once emphasized, what we think, we become. Our thoughts shape our emotions, and our emotions influence our behavior. Therefore, choosing your thoughts wisely is one of the most important forms of personal power. Let's look at some real-life examples of how these 3 fields of training apply to modern life. Training desire. Imagine you're addicted to social media. You keep checking your phone, comparing your life to others based on carefully curated images and posts. This is a form of desire that doesn't serve you. To train this, you might set time limits, delete certain apps, or replace scrolling with activities that bring you real joy and connection like reading, exercising, or spending time with loved ones. Training action. Suppose you want to improve your health, but find it hard to start exercising. Instead of waiting for motivation, you can set small, achievable goals, find an accountability partner, or reward yourself for every step forward. Taking consistent, value-driven action, even in small doses, can create powerful change over time. Training perception. Let's say you're often overwhelmed by negative self-talk. Thoughts like, I'm not good enough, or I'll never be loved. You can begin practicing mindfulness, using positive affirmations to challenge those thoughts, or seeking support from a counselor or mentor. Little by little, you retrain your mind to focus on possibility rather than limitation. Why are these Three areas of training so important. Because in today's fast-paced world, we are constantly distracted. We're pulled in countless directions by shallow pleasures, fleeting attention spans, and an overload of negativity. It's easy to forget what truly matters. Easy to lose ourselves in the noise. But when we train our desires, we begin to want the right things. When we train our actions, we begin to do the right things. And when we train our perceptions, we begin to see things in the right light. Together, these three practices allow you to take back control of your life. They help you build inner peace, deepen your self-awareness, and ultimately live a life that is not just busy, but deeply meaningful. The core message is this: these three areas of training are not abstract philosophies reserved for ancient scholars. They are practical roadmaps for anyone committed to personal growth. When you know what you desire, how you act, and how you think, you are actively planting the seeds of wisdom, virtue, and lasting happiness in your life. As Socrates once said, the unexamined life is not worth living, so take time to reflect and refine your life today in order to shape a better tomorrow. Lesson 8. Put on the learning hat and enter the school of life, where wisdom is built from observing those who came before. Do you know that great? Philosophers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle did not spend their days lost in lofty dreams or abstract speculation. They lived, they observed, and most importantly, they learned from real experience. They passed on that wisdom through their teachings, writings, and the very way they lived. The Stoic thinker Seneca once advised, "Associate with those who will make you better, and welcome those whom you can improve." This is a mutual process people learn as they teach. So let me ask you, who are the people you admire and respect most? What qualities do they have that you want to develop in yourself? Take some time to write down the names of those role models. Then, start watching them not to idolize, but to learn. Observe how they think, how they act, and how they make decisions in their own lives. Next, be proactive in observing and learning. Read their books, watch their interviews, listen to podcasts they've been featured in, follow their journeys on social media. Pay attention to their habits, their schedules, the values they live by, and the way they communicate. What valuable lessons can you absorb simply by paying attention? If you have the opportunity, find yourself a mentor, someone you admire, and from whom you can learn directly. This does not have to be a formal program. It might be a thoughtful conversation over coffee, a sincere message asking for guidance, or simply showing up consistently and expressing genuine curiosity. You will be surprised how generous people can be with their wisdom when they know you are truly eager to learn. Just as important as seeking out wisdom is your willingness to reflect on and apply what you've learned. Don't just collect knowledge like souvenirs. Instead, take time to sit with it, think it through, and integrate it into your daily life. Let the insights you gain shape the way you think, how you treat others, and the way you show up in the world. That is how learning becomes transformation. The key message here is this: observing the wise is not about copying every single move they make. It is about learning from their experience, drawing from the depth of their perspective, and even learning from their mistakes. It is about expanding your own awareness and collecting tools to live more fully, more wisely, and more purposefully. As Confucius wisely said, we learn wisdom in three ways. First, by reflection, which is the noblest. Second, by imitation, which is the easiest. And third, by experience, which is the most bitter. Lesson 9. Move towards simplicity. The secret to decluttering. Not only your physical space, but also your mind. You don't need to become a minimalist or retreat to a cabin in the woods to experience the beauty of simplicity. What matters is learning to let go of the clutter, both around you and within you, so you can focus on what truly matters most. Today, we are surrounded by too many options, too much information, and endless distractions. There are too many possessions, too many commitments, and even too many browser tabs open at once. It is no surprise that so many people feel exhausted, anxious, and constantly falling behind in life. The philosopher Socrates once warned, "Beware the barrenness of a busy life." His words remind us that being busy is not the same as being effective or being happy. In fact, busyness often pulls us further away from what really matters. Simplicity is not about deprivation or sacrifice. It is about living with intention and focus. It is about choosing quality over quantity, experiences over possessions, and presence over productivity. As author Joshua Becker wisely put it, simplicity is the intentional promotion of the things we most value and the removal of anything that distracts us from them. So, how can you begin simplifying your life and find peace in the process first? Declutter your physical space. Start by getting rid of items that you no longer use, no longer need, or no longer enjoy. Clothes, books, gadgets, or furniture, anything that makes your space feel cramped or chaotic. Remember the old saying, outer order contributes to inner calm. A tidy environment supports a clearer mind. Second, simplify your schedule. Take a good look at your daily commitments and to-do lists. Are you overwhelmed? Are you saying yes to things you don't really want to do? Practice saying no to anything that doesn't align with your deeper values. Make room for what matters. As author Greg McKeown put it, if it's not a clear yes, then it's a no. Third, declutter your digital life. Our digital spaces can be just as messy as our closets. Unsubscribe from emails you never read. Unfollow social media accounts that no longer inspire you. Set boundaries for screen time, so you are not constantly pulled into unnecessary noise. Cal Newport once said, "Digital minimalism is a philosophy of technology use where you focus your online time on a small number of carefully selected and optimized activities that strongly support things you value, and then happily miss out on everything else." When you simplify both the outer and inner landscapes of your life, you create space for peace, for clarity, for purpose. Simplicity allows you to stop chasing after everything and start appreciating what you already have. Fourth, focus on the essentials. Ask yourself, what is truly important to me? Is it your family, your friends, your health, your personal passions? Write down your top priorities and start nurturing them. Protect your time and energy like they are sacred resources, because they are. As the philosopher Marcus Aurelius once reminded us, very little is needed to live a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Simplicity is not about having less. It is about making space for more of what matters. When you clear away the clutter and noise, you will find yourself more connected, more present, and more fulfilled. And in that quiet clarity, you may just discover that the life you have been chasing is already within reach. To see this more clearly, let us take a look at a few practical examples. Many people have adopted the concept of a capsule wardrobe, a small collection of essential items that can be easily mixed and matched. This approach simplifies their mornings, reduces decision fatigue, and brings more clarity to the start of each day. Planning weekly meals is another powerful way to simplify life. It saves time, cuts down on expenses, and reduces the daily stress of figuring out what to eat. At the same time, it helps maintain a healthy diet and keeps impulse shopping in check. Some people also find deep refreshment and renewal by dedicating an entire weekend to unplugging from technology. These digital-free days help them disconnect from the online noise and reconnect with themselves, their loved ones, and the beauty of nature around them. The most important message to remember is this: simplifying your life does not mean lacking or sacrificing. It is an intentional choice to focus on what truly matters and to make space for joy, for creativity, and for meaning. As poet T.S. Eliot once wrote, "Where is the wisdom we have lost in knowledge? Where is the knowledge we have lost in information?" By embracing simplicity, we reclaim wisdom, we regain understanding, and we rediscover our sense of wonder about the world. So, are you ready to join me on the journey of simplifying and taking ownership of your life? Because, dear Stoic family, today we have walked together through so many powerful lessons, from morning rituals that awaken the spirit to a minimalist lifestyle that brings peace, from the strength of a mantra to the profound wisdom of the ancients who came before us. But always remember, Stoicism is not something to simply read or listen to for entertainment. It is a way of life, a daily practice, a lens through which to face every challenge with clarity, calm, and courage. As Epictetus wisely said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." So ask yourself, what kind of life do you want to build? What kind of person do you want to become? Begin with something small. Choose one principle that resonates with you most and put it into practice today. Maybe it is establishing a Stoic-inspired morning routine. Maybe it is decluttering your living space to bring lightness to your mind. Maybe it is creating a powerful personal mantra to carry with you throughout your day. Whatever you choose, commit to it. Observe the quiet but profound transformation it begins to stir within your life. And remember, the journey of living stoically is not about perfection. It is about progress, about taking steady steps forward toward becoming the best version of yourself. So go out there and live your stoic life. Face each challenge with courage. Learn from each mistake with humility. And never stop growing, evolving, and becoming. Above all, remember this: you are not walking this path alone. We are walking it together, supporting one another, growing stronger, wiser, and more resilient together. Now go forth and conquer life your way.